Hello, welcome back. I'm here to talk about sex and gender. Sex and gender. Everyone is born with a sex, and every cell in your body carries that DNA, in which, your sex is there. Okay, but that doesn't determine your gender. It's this generalization and this wanting to label things that's gonna really fuck us in the end, if you know what I mean. Yeah, they do have drugs out for some specifically for women, some specifically for men, and this is all in the sense because of estrogen and testosterone. And they found that those two things, those two hormones, are the things that make us kind of like really, really different. Other than, I have a vagina and a guy would have a penis. Now, gender roles would be, being more athletic, or just doing more boy things, being more, aggressive, or things like that. Well, they've also found that women don't only carry estrogen, and they found that men don't only carry testosterone. There are actual levels, and depending on things, depending on the situations at hand and things like that, your body will, create the necessary hormone to secrete to get you wherever you needed to get. So, like, mostly survival, I'm talking again, now, in school, boys and girls, I do see a lot of them do get treated differently. I don't think girls are necessarily better in school. It's a generalization, and it's not a majority thing either, because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people I know, a lot of girls that are really bad students, okay? Really bad students, and the guys are all really good students. So is it, our environment, and that's why it's different, or is it, you have to, there are way more factors put there. But ultimately, gender is set there as your child. I mean, you don't have the choice of being here, you don't have the choice of being whatever you are, so biologically, you kind of, you deal with things as they come, so it's really an environmental thing. For example, let's set a girl in an environment with, all boys stuff. Like, this happens all the time. Tomboys. I was a tomboy. And I'm sure if, like, the hormone levels were, were checked during that point in time, they probably would have had more testosterone than estrogen at the time. I would have had, less estrogen. But that's why I'm like, it's really all just for reproduction and survival. It's like, it's whatever. It's the biological thing. We're trying to leave that behind. And with conversating and things like that and understanding it, we're all understanding, okay, well, maybe we're not going to physically evolve, but, it's time for this mental evolution. And then maybe everything else will, like, fall into place. But yeah, like, a girl that's she's born, and she's, grows up, and she's, like, 6, okay, and her parents, before that, all they had were boys, so they dealt with them in a way that whatever's popular in the community, in that way, and, kindred to them, So when she was born, it's no surprise to me that she would be interested in basketball and things like that, because she sees the people around her doing it. So she's like, well, I want to do that too. I mean, shoot, Same thing with boys that are set in a more female surrounding. He has a bunch of sisters. Well, there's no surprise to me that that guy might want to try and put some makeup on because he sees his sisters doing it. It's things like that. And then the thing that makes people not want to be like that is society or community, people who frown upon that, people who think that's weird and wrong. Yeah. So you're really just, it's an effect of your environment. And you can say this a lot. You can say this for psychology too. A lot of mental illnesses and things like that come from when you're a child. And I hate that. I hate that you can like pretty much trace a lot of your future things from your past, like from from being programmed basically by your parents and society. So it's kind of like whatever. And I mean, it's ugh. But anyway, I don't think gender is a fine line. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more like a non-existent, or it's not just one or the other. I think everyone's kind of like mixing and mingling, because some girls are kind of masculine and some guys are kind of feminine, and they're still straight, and even the youth. Let me say this before I go 5 minutes. Okay. Even our youth, like nowadays, even the style, even just things like that. Everyone's starting to look in the middle, like not too feminine, not too masculine, and like I like to use scene kids for examples, because you know they're kind of like they're just doing whatever. They're going to music and they're just being and partying it up and whatever, living life, if you want to call that living life. But you know they're not thinking of any repercussions, is what I mean. They're just doing. But you know, scene kids, they're pretty interesting. They like, you know, color, and they like to stick out and stuff like that. But this is between the boys and the girls, and they're straight. Like, they want each other, type of thing. And, you know, the guys they'll be wearing tutus or whatever they want, or some makeup, or their hair's all, you know, frazzled out, and they're cool, and they're wearing tight pants. Like, the whole tight jean thing is going on. Like, yeah, things are becoming more unisexed, as it were. Like, I think the gender thing is just placed there to... It's just basically placed there to form us into whatever society needs us to be for them. I mean, they're not, just, like, my community, I'm pretty sure at this point, we're all, you know, accepting enough to just accept that, you know, a girl is kind of like a dude. But, you know, back then, that's weird. You're supposed to have babies, you know, like, we were understanding the more biological part of us. And now we're, like, you know, going a little bit further. What is our consciousness and things? So, I don't know. I'm just saying. So all my viewers and such, what do you think? And thank you, Cocky Pirate, for doing these videos. Keep them up.